So we've been here for like over an hour and a half now. We haven't asked you how your time in Japan's been yet.
Yeah,
you've been living your best weeb life.
Yeah,
dude. So I love it, dude. It seems insane that like people just live here and like go to work. No, I'm not
what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
It's wild, dude. Like people just fucking straight up go to work and like and live here. When you think about it, I'm like, everything is awesome.
That is the most weeb thing you've said all podcast.
You are the biggest weeb I've met.
Fucking weeb ever.
No,
you are literally that meme, which is like thing in Japan.
It's like, oh,
no, but like it is like that. People don't understand it. No, literally, it is like that.
oh my god.
It's I don't know what it is. Like I mean. It's
There's
just
a magic to it. I think there definitely
it's
is.
not supposed to work. Like Japan is not supposed to work, but it works somehow. I don't know
what
how.
do you mean?
Just everything is everything that I would normally look to with like my political understandings and like everything I know about the world. Like Japan basically took on and was like, no, we'll make it work, and it does somehow. Like you have 3,800 homeless people on the entire fucking island, but like at the same time, it's not like the country's doing really well economically.
Right.
You know what I mean? Younger generations are very frustrated with the lack of opportunity. People are just not dying, so much so that you got fucking Japanese Yale economists talking about how like, oh, I have a solution. Kill yourself to the older people. You know what I mean? You have all this shit that's like so... you have what I would consider to be like a...
Oh my goodness.
No, it's just my phone. It's just my phone. Right. You have what I would consider to be like a ticking time bomb. You know what I mean? Like capitalism is like hyper capitalist, but it's held together by like thousands of years of like rigid structure and tradition and like unflinching in the face of like a world that is constantly being like, no, things should be very different. Like things should be more free. So in some ways it's shitty, like with the, the hentai stuff. Or,
that's at the top of the list.
The blurring.
Japan's social issues, censored hentai.
Like blurring of the penises and vaginas, like that's weird. But also at the same time, I think like that is still the reason why, you have such an emphasis on like cleaning your own space, making sure that you have, making sure that you leave the place better than you first
left it.
Yeah.
It's a very like I would say like collectivist, but like that collectivist society creates like very selfless people. Where it's like I'm at the bottom of the priority and everybody else is above me kind of thing, right? So it's like that, and when everybody is like that, then everyone's looking out for each other.
Yeah. Which is crazy because at the same time it's like insanely capitalist. So you're like, how the fuck does this work? Because in America, we're insanely capitalist. It's a hyper-capitalist dystopia. But then also people are hyper-individualist. So when you have that, that's when you get to like no healthcare, everybody has a gun, full freedom, you have the freedom to like die from, not getting your diseases treated, right?
Right.
But you don't have that in Japan. You have the economic structure, which I think is like wild. And inherently incredibly exploitative, but then it still somehow works. And I still haven't figured out exactly what the fuck's going on. Like, I don't know how it works.
I don't even think Japan's figured that shit out, dude.
I just like, it doesn't make any sense because like,
I mean, I guess that's why they called it a post-war economic miracle, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people just take a lot of pride and a lot of care in what they do in a way that is kind of hard to expect of people in Western countries, because we'd be like, fuck that, I'm not working and I'm not doing a good job at McDonald's for $5 an hour. Whereas I think in Japan there's not really that concept of, fuck your employer for not paying you enough. There's like no such
you take what you're given, right?
Yeah, I mean,
but also like how do they survive? You know what I mean? Like that's the other that's what I don't understand. You guys have talked about like anime, not voice actors obviously, but like the people that draw. The animators, like how the fuck do they survive?
By doing multiple jobs.
No, but they're doing multiple jobs, or as you might have noticed, stuff in Japan is overworking, or stuff is really cheap in Japan as well.
That's true. It is very cheap.
If you want to live off literally the bare essentials, you can kind of do it pretty cheap in Japan.
You won't live well, but you can survive.
You do it.
That does blow my mind though. Like, cause housing. You know what I mean? Like that's a huge problem.
That is a big problem in Tokyo.
And not even just in Tokyo, but like I don't understand how they spend so much less money overall, and yet like this is an issue that they've been able to not fully eradicate, obviously.
No, I mean the economy
but certainly
is not
still
great.
do a lot better than America.
In some aspects. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. The best example is the railway system, right?
Right. I mean,
It's
that is
a
like the
marvel. Obviously, it's like originally it's government funded because you have to do it like that. That's a massive infrastructure project. You have to get the government and the tax dollars to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
But also now it's like fully privatized.
Yeah. A JR.
So that's the reason why you see like so many railway switches in between and like all this like frustrating things that you experience without even realizing why it's happening. Well, that's because it's owned by like multiple different companies, right? But it still fucking works.
Yeah.
It still works. It's not supposed to. In America, those trains would be fucking eating each other every day. They would literally be like hitting each other nonstop.
The most inconvenience you get in Japan in terms of it being different companies competing is that I guess you have to change gates.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you want to go on the metro, you have to clock, you have to go out.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's
Like,
literally the like bare minimum. That
and
you
that's
have to-
crazy
Yeah.
when you have like such a intricate system, and yet the trains fucking run on time.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's not supposed to be that way. Like it doesn't make sense. You go to the UK, a lot of places where railway is nationalized have privatized. Shouts out to Margaret Thatcher, that fucking bitch. But
I was
like,
gonna say it was good. I was like, oh God,
no.
Yeah,
Of course
she ruined
not.
it.
No, exactly. So like that privatization has genuinely destroyed like what is otherwise something that people hold on to as a lifeline. Because like if you're poor, that's the one thing you have. You know what I mean? Like that's how you travel. We don't even have that in America. So like that's a foreign concept. Public transit is like not even a thing.
Yeah.
And you see that like privatization is supposed to destroy the things that otherwise government should be able to handle, but in Japan it just fucking works, and it works really well, and it like blows my mind when I watch it, when I see it.
Well, I think there's just a general kind of like culture in Japan where no matter what your job is, you should take pride in your work to make it the best it can possibly be, and that translates to every single aspect of Japanese culture, whether you be fucking buying fruits from the supermarket or going to a restaurant or getting any kind of craftsmanship.
Yeah, it doesn't always work. There are a lot of things that Japan has definitely not caught on to. Just like adopting to the online world is tough.
Or the receipt system.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why?
Like
you're using paper? Like,
Yeah.
Like
What the fuck?
when I did my taxes, I have to scan every receipt and upload them.
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
insane,
Yeah.
dog. That makes no sense. Like,
It makes no sense, right?
they're just playing on hard mode. Like,
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
fuck?
And like, even though you mentioned the trains, like there are certain trains if you want to book them where it becomes like a Doom, like a Dark Souls one hit level of difficulty. It's like it's for no reason. Like just some things that just didn't quite adapt the way they should have, and it ends up making this kind of really fucked up amalgamated system of like booking and stuff that doesn't quite work right, but it works if you know how to do it, because people are pretty persistent here if they want something.
I mean, even just doing like general paperwork in this country is the most like
yeah.
asinine
Yeah.
thing
You-
ever.
I-
Right?
It's everything is layered behind 10 layers of paperwork, basically.
You could
Oh, I know. I had to fucking write like all the forms to like get into the country.
So
Yeah, yeah.
Because I could have had the opposite of Thin. He was super easy.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's
No, that shit was not easy at all.
Yeah.
Also, they're like,
You go to a government building, you could just walk in, you can just see where all the workers are, the stacks and stacks of papers.
Yeah,
behind them.
because
Like,
they're all
this-
working analog.
This can't be efficient. Like,
No,
this
it's
can't-
not.
and it's not. That's
it's
the-
so hard for bookkeeping. You can't
Yeah.
search. Like you could just search on if you modernize it.
Yeah.
It makes
Yeah.
no sense.
Yeah.
They're so that sort of stuff also is like very strange to me, that they're like, nope, we're gonna keep using paper.
Well, again, it's that whole idea of like holding on to tradition.
and also
Yeah.
a lot of elderly people.
Elderly people, yeah.
People just like
don't want to
But-
adapt to systems.
There is a positive to that, because like it probably, and I don't even know this is the case or not, but I suspect that it probably keeps certain economies alive.
Oh, for sure.
The more
Yeah,
the more you
100%.
like stick to paper, for example, the more you like literally have the.
Need more
Have you guys
people.
ever seen The Office?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The American version, like Dunder Mifflin going out of business because no one uses paper anymore.
Yeah.
But you have like, what is it? Is it Muji? Like there's like companies that just like make paper products.
Yeah.
But then they also like become conglomerates and also sell like vibrators and shit too on the side, which is wild. That is a very like East Asian country thing to have like.
I think at least for the government as well. I think a lot of the priority is just keeping jobs.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if you want to modernize things, it normally means you either got to move people around or figure out something new.
Yeah.
And that's tough. And
also, Japan is just like in general really bad at adopting new things.
Oh yeah, terrible.
Yeah, like
occasionally they'll take something like a toilet and they'll be like, "We're up in the game,"
Yeah.
and other stuff they'll be like, "Ooh."
They're like, but we're keeping the fax machine just in case
Like
people
a
need to
big
use it.
meme,
Yeah, I mean, I've just started seeing contactless like payment machines.
Yeah.
Just starting to.
Wait, that's new?
that is new.
Well,
That-
for credit cards, right?
For credit cards,
They
yeah.
had it for a while for Suica, like the transport cards,
Yeah.
but for debit
Actual,
cards and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff, that's just a little more new.
like
That
within
for
the
me,
last-
I took that for granted. I'm like,
yeah,
oh
like-
yeah, it's great.
last
in
few
the
months.
UK, you've been to the UK, right?
Yeah.
No one uses cash at all.
Yeah.
It's all do,
Yeah.
tap.
That's the oh my god! I have to fucking have like a coin wallet. Like I
Yeah.
hate
I have a coin wallet too.
Yeah.
that's insane. Like there's this. Oh no, I don't want any of that, man.
They keep it.
Yeah.
And it makes bookkeeping, like you mentioned, hard because I have to then keep all the receipts.
Yeah.
And I have no trail of it existing if I lose that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is crazy. Like that definitely blows my mind. But overall, it's there. Not to weeb out too much, but
You can weeb out. It's all right.
It is beautiful. Like
Yeah, there's problems, and as every country does, but there's so much good here.
Yeah.
So much amazing stuff.
It's so beautiful. Like
Yep.
that's what I mean when I say like motherfuckers are just like going to work and I'm just sitting there like looking around like this is crazy. Like you just don't you don't want to take it in. Like you're just running to work. Like look at that. That's so sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which probably is like a byproduct of me being here for the first time and like anime
for
definitely
sure.
breaking
Yeah,
my
of course.
brain.
I mean,
Yeah.
it definitely I think the big one that we've always mentioned a bunch in the podcast is like vending machines wear off.
Yeah.
They wear off real quick.
Yeah.
Like
I saw you come in with a Boss coffee.
Like
Yeah.
the coffee machine, the vending machine coffee. I remember after moving to Japan, I thought I would get those kinds of coffees every day. When I was a tourist, I would like go to the vending machine in the morning, get a coffee, and I'd be like, this is it. This is the life. Moved here, didn't drink it at all.
No. I understand. Like that's not. I'm not that fascinated with the vending machines.
but it's just like a very easy example.
Yeah. But oh my god, the fucking the 7-Elevens, dude. Holy shit.
I will say that is one thing that never seems to I always appreciate it. Always.
The egg
Yeah.
salad, dude. It's just so good.
And you'll appreciate it more if you ever leave Tokyo because you'll be in the middle of nowhere in Japan. You're like an hour away from any restaurant, but there'll be a 7-Eleven fully stocked with every food you
24/7 as well.
And it's like, this is just the best. Like if you go to rural Wales, it's like, good luck.
Yeah.
You die. Like,
Eat some
there's
grass.
There's no food. Maybe
Yeah.
there's a Greg's 3 hours from you, but there's no food.
Yeah.
And then the shop's shut at 4. So if you don't have food by 4, and, you're fucked.
You're just fucked.
Well, 4 on certain days. It depends on the store. But the point is, you don't get food like that in the UK.
It's just convenient, isn't it? It's something that we've definitely taken for granted.
UK still kind of looks like Vinland Saga, honestly.
I mean, yeah.
It's
The
kinda
Danes
cool.
did a number on them.